Hey, what's happening, everybody? My name is Dev. I've been a serious guitarist for over 3.5 decades. I want to help you improve on what I think is the coolest instrument in the world, the guitar. This video is going to be all about the building blocks of becoming a solid rhythm guitarist. And it was all about leads for me when I was real young. And then I figured out and just kind of discovered the power and the strength of being a really solid rhythm guitarist and being able to play with other people like that. I know you probably got your guitar with you, so hold on to that. Before we get to it, let's get through the rhythm stuff first, to the whiteboard. So there's a number of reasons why 4/4 time is also called common time. Most music on the western side of things, certainly most pop and stuff, is going to be in 4/4 time. And you've heard this counted a million times. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So we got 4 beats. And the simplest thing that we can do with this is just outline the chords. And usually what that means to me is that you're just strumming the chord when the song switches to it. So usually that'll be on the one of any particular bar when you're switching chords, depending on the type of song. But that's a very common thing that you can do. That's phase 0 is the outline. Phase 1 is going to be what I call straight 8s. And that's when you're playing each of these, where you're doing a downstroke on the number and an upstroke on the and musically that would look like this. Pretty straightforward stuff, but it does take a little bit of work to get really consistent with it and practicing your chord switches so that as you end one bar and go to the next, you can continue to outline the chords. So when the chords change the chord that you're playing on the guitar, just keep a straight rhythm like this, and then you can start doing some accents. So one of the most common ones looks like this. So that's straight 8s with the accents, and you can also play straight 8s with the accents where you mute them. So anytime you're not playing one of the accented notes or moments where you're playing the chord, you're muting the string. Also, you can play just the accents. So that would look just like this. After 4/4, the second most common time signature upon which you are likely to come is 12/8. I know sometimes hear people call this a shuffle. I hear people sometimes use the term swing, not necessarily fully in its definition, to describe when they want a 12/8 feel to it. And the idea here is that it is, again, 4 beats. And previously in 4/4 we had 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, so it was nice even. Each of these was cut in half. We had an and so yeah, they were each cut in half, 2 parts to each. Now they're going to be cut into thirds. One, as I usually call them, triplets. 1 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So I'll just put T and L up here for those. So the subdivisions are a little bit different. So very often when people are doing accents here, obviously we're not going to use ands anymore because we're not cut in half. But if someone says, if we're getting a 12/8 or a shuffle feel, and they say the accent is on the and of 2, they're really talking about the lets. So you can think of the lets usually as the ends. So instead of 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, you get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Some people, I've heard that called a gallop before too, and I think I've used that terminology as well. So you can apply the same rhythms to this, but now instead of, you're going to have triplets for each of these. And it does introduce some interesting side effects in your strumming, because if we're still alternating down, up, now on the even numbers, you're strumming down, and on the odd numbers, you're strumming up. If you're playing the even 12 or the straight 12. But if you're playing 1 and 2 and 3, if you're playing the 1, let 2, let 3, kind of using that semi-half or that swung half interval, it'll still be down, up, down, up, down. But these are going to be much closer together, the up and the down. But that's how you get that kind of like bluesy feel. If these are the triplets, these are this. Pretty ugly notating. But yeah, once you get this feel, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, that rhythm, it's very specific, and once you get that gallop, you can really run with that. Thanks, I hope you learned something and found that informative and useful. Again, my name is Dev. I'm making the videos here. I'm trying to make the videos that I wish existed when I was coming up as a guitarist. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And there's a link in the description to join my Patreon, which is completely free, and it gives you early access to all of these videos, as well as exclusive content and access to the Guitar Chords Survival Kit, the second edition of which is coming out really soon. See you around. Cheers.